We are live in 3, 2, 1.
Once you voted on your ballot, signed it, and sent it in, it comes here.
We are 1 week out from the U.S. election. We'll tell you how voters are preparing for November 3rd.
Coronavirus case increases cause many Utah ICUs to fill up and overflow. What the state epidemiologist says about rationing medical care.
And jack-o'-lanterns are a fun family Halloween tradition, but they're a lot less fun when one flies through your window. How Halloween vandalism has affected an American Fork home. Welcome to Newsline. It's Tuesday, October 27th. I'm Joseph Carson.
And I'm Allie Arnold. With Election Day just right around the corner, college students in Utah County are registering to vote in a momentous election. Newsline reporter Elena Castro has the story.
I'm here at the Utah County Auditor's Office in Provo, and if you vote by mail-in ballot, this is where your ballots will end up. And with Utah County having such a high population of college students, Utah County Auditor Amelia Powers-Gardner explains the role these students play in such a big election.
Here in Utah County, we have about almost 56,000 college students here in Utah County, but we do tend to see quite a few college students register to vote on Election Day. So we're expecting that number to go up by several thousand.
With 1 week until people can hit the polls in person, it's important for college students to participate in the voting process.
When they vote, they get involved and really start to look more at the community outside of their college campus, and I think that's really helpful for them as well.
The clerk's office is in charge of elections in each county.
We go out into our county and we get all of our ballots that have been sent to you, the voter, in our drop boxes. Also from our post office. We have our post office we just got. Once you voted on your ballot, signed it, and sent it in, it comes here.
Be sure to vote early, and if you still need a ballot, contact the county clerk's office. Reporting for Newsline in Provo, I'm Elena Castro.
Americans are voting early in record numbers. According to a University of Florida professor, nearly 60 million people have already voted as of Sunday. By October 25th of 2016, only 47.2 million Americans voted early and 58 million voted in person or by mail. The AP's voting guide predicts upwards of 150 million votes this election, leading to possibly the highest turnout rate at an election since 1908.
Police need your help to solve a possible homicide. 2LA fire crews found a man's body on Saturday afternoon while extinguishing a fire in Soldier Canyon. Investigators say the death was a homicide but have not discovered a correlation between the fire and the body. His name will not be released until a positive ID has been made. A late 90s white Honda Accord was found abandoned at the scene. Police ask anyone with any information to call 435-277-4212.
The Salt Lake County District Attorney charges the man suspected in a cold case murder. 29-year-old Adam Antonio Spencer Durborough is officially charged with the aggravated murder of 64-year-old Sherry Black. He is also facing first-degree aggravated burglary charges. Durborough's DNA was collected 2 weeks ago and was a match to the DNA found in 2010 at Black's murder scene. Police say Durborough confessed to the murder and is being held without bail in Salt Lake County Jail.
As of today, the total coronavirus case count in Utah is more than 106,000. More than 1.4 million tests have been reported and more than 1 million people have been tested. The total number of hospitalizations is around 5,100 with 574 total COVID deaths. The 7-day average of new infections in the United States hit 68,787 on Sunday, topping the previous peak reported in July. Due to a rise in coronavirus cases, Utah intensive care units might start rationing care. The Utah coronavirus cases are reaching record high numbers. The rising case numbers are overwhelming hospitals. Hospital administrators presented Governor Herbert with criteria to begin turning away patients on Thursday. State epidemiologist Dr. Angela Dunn is calling for Utahns to wear masks and physically distance in order to prevent hospitals from having to ration COVID care.
Utah Tonight's Halloween protest party was canceled after backlash from COVID concerns in the community. Utah Tonight released a statement on Instagram about the event cancellation, claiming their party was in line with COVID guidelines. Utah Tonight calls out the public for fear-mongering and putting the blame of the pandemic spread on the state's 18 to 25-year-old population. They hope that COVID restrictions will be lifted soon. Running out of COVID-safe things to do? Two of our reporters took a stroll around Provo to find some new ideas.
Got the pandemic blues? Or maybe you've run out of ideas of things to do.
No problem. We got you covered. I'm Emma Benson.
And I'm Andrea Cabrera.
And there's plenty you can still do to have fun with a friend.
While staying 6 feet apart. So Emma and I decided to get comfy and make a list just for you.
That's right, Andrea. Let's start from our personal favorite, getting takeout from one of Provo's local businesses.
Next item on our list, grab those sweaters and hats and scarves and gloves so you freeze like me, and head to the fireplaces at the Provo Riverwoods. So
From shopping, to window shopping, or even people watching, there's plenty you can do.
Now, if activities on the chilly side are not your thing and you prefer to stay inside, there are still plenty of options to have fun and stay safe. BYU has a number of online activities, from live streamed performances to digital art exhibitions to virtual game nights.
There's always a way to safely have fun and connect with others from the comfort of your own living room.
And you can always bring your takeout home and enjoy with a movie.
Good company.
with good food.
What more could you want?
And don't forget
To tune in to NewsLine at noon.
Classes are back in session after a fire broke out at Orem High School. The fire erupted yesterday afternoon in the woodshop room of the school. The students were evacuated immediately and then sent home. Fire officials say the fire started from a sawdust collecting machine. Orem High School apologized for the inconvenience. There is no word on the amount of damage the building sustained.
A missing 14-year-old girl is found in Utah County. Tooele police say Mia Richards was found thanks to help of the public. On Saturday, surveillance photos of Mia at a Maverick gas station in Utah County were released. In those pictures, she's seen with a man and woman. Information about the vehicle the couple was driving was also released with the photos. Mia was located about 3 hours later. Mia had gone missing on Tuesday, October 20th, and was gone for 4 days.
All airlines flying from or to Salt Lake City are now operating out of entirely new facilities. Terminal B opened this morning with a total of 21 gates. The gates will house Alaska, American, Delta, Frontier, JetBlue, Southwest, and United. According to the airport's executive director, this only completes phase 1 of the project. The new terminal will have 3 new restaurants and 5 new shops to start with. The airport plans to keep building as passengers' numbers increase. The old buildings at Salt Lake International will now be demolished.
Homeowners are looking for the vandals who threw a pumpkin through their window. The American Fork family disturbed in the middle of the night on Sunday by a group of vandals that destroyed their Halloween decorations. The vandalism was caught on the family's surveillance camera around 2:30 a.m. The video shows 2 people get out of a car and smash the family's decorated pumpkins on the ground. One of the vandals throws one of the pumpkins through the dining room window, shattering it. No one was hurt, but the family would like help identifying the suspects.
Amid the pandemic and natural disasters, food donations are increasing from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. New crops are harvested, processed, and sent to Bishop's Central Storehouse in Salt Lake City for national distribution. The food weighs in at tens of millions of pounds, and this year it's especially in demand in the West U.S. and East Seaboard and Canada.
There's a lot of peace in knowing that you've done everything you can and that you're actually on the Lord's farm and you're growing His crops for His people.
With fields, canneries, and volunteers across the nation, the food is readily available to the needy at Bishop's storehouses. Tens of thousands of volunteer hours make the donation possible.
Flames erupt in the Golden State. The wildfire damaged homes and forces massive evacuations. What the state is doing to put out the flames.
It's critical to participate in our democracy. We consider it an honor to be able to vote from space.
Talk about an absentee voter. One U.S. astronaut tells us about voting from space. A newly appointed Supreme Court justice. Hear how people want to rectify this change.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me! Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
A wildfire in Southern California has burned about 4,000 acres and critically injured 2 firefighters in just the first day. This is the Silverado fire in the Santiago Canyon area near Irvine. It was reported around Monday around 7 a.m. and just 2 hours later, 20,000 homes were evacuated. The injured firefighters have severe 2nd and 3rd degree burns. No word yet on how the fire started. Hertz is trying to help you get to the polls this election season. The rental car company says that it will give away 1 free day on November 2nd or 3rd when customers reserve a car for 2 days. Hertz says this will make it easier for people to perform their civic duty. This promotion is available at any Hertz store across the country.
The U.S. presidential election reaches space.
There's legislation passed a number of years ago to allow astronauts to vote in space. I think a lot of astronauts do this. They feel that it's very important.
NASA astronaut Kate Rubins announced in a tweet that she voted for the presidential election on the International Space Station. Rubins cast her electronic ballot in a makeshift voting booth. And this wasn't the first time Rubins voted from space. She also cast her ballot from the International Space Station during the 2016 election. The Weeknd received the most nominations for the American Music Awards. The singer got 8 nods for this year's awards. Rapper Roddy Ricch also nabbed 8 nods, tying The Weeknd for top honors. The 2020 AMC Awards will be aired on ABC at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on November 22nd.
Amy Coney Barrett is sworn in this morning. Hear what our Utah senators have to say about Justice Barrett's confirmation to the Supreme Court.
We can be more environmentally aware and just really make use of the resources that we have.
BYU researchers examining coal energy and efficiency are awarded a massive grant. We'll tell you how much money they're getting.
We'll break down forecast trends and see how temperatures increase just in time for Halloween. Your weekly weather coming up.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Thank you.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared. So start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Amy Coney Barrett is sworn into office as a Supreme Court justice after a quick confirmation proceeding.
Last night's vote split mostly along party lines with a 52-48 result. Senator Susan Collins of Maine stands as the only Republican senator to vote nay. Daryl Forges reports.
The nomination of Amy Coney Barrett of Indiana to be an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States is confirmed.
Judge Amy Coney Barrett joining the highest court in the land.
It is the job of a judge to resist her policy preferences.
The contentious appointment comes amid vocal protests on the steps of the Supreme Court, both for
Confirm Amy now!
and against her confirmation. The Senate's fast-tracking of Barrett's confirmation solidifies a 6-3 conservative majority. In response, some opponents suggested expanding the size of the Supreme Court.
I don't want to pack the court. I don't want to change the number. I don't want to have to do that. But if all of this rule breaking is taking place, what does the majority expect?
Barrett joins the Supreme Court as the justices are ready to take action on a number of important petitions, including several related to next week's election. The potential conflict of interest is a major concern for Democrats.
In Donald Trump, we have a president who has openly stated that he needs Judge Barrett on the Supreme Court to cast a crucial vote if cases arising out of a disputed election reach the court.
In defense, Republicans point to her qualifications and her integrity.
She is a staggering academic mind. She is incredibly honest and forthright.
In Washington, I'm Daryl Forges.
Utah senators deliver remarks on the Senate floor in support of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court.
Mr. President, I rise today to express my support for the confirmation of Judge Amy Coney Barrett as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. She's exceptionally intelligent, academically astute, and impeccably credentialed.
We don't want Judge Barrett on the Supreme Court to be our advocate. We want Judge Barrett on the Supreme Court to decide law, to decide cases based on what the law says.
Both Utah senators believe Barrett will serve with honor on the court.
Now that Amy Coney Barrett is the newest Associate Justice on the Supreme Court, there is a movement to add more justices to the court. Rachel, how are people feeling about the news?
Well, Allie, public opinion is certainly not unanimous on this issue. The conversation is now surrounding expanding the court, with hashtags expand the court and expand SCOTUS making their rounds on Twitter. Many feel that with 3 justices being appointed by President Trump, the Supreme Court is no longer fair and balanced. In 1937, Franklin D. Roosevelt pointed out that it was within the power of Congress to change Supreme Court size, since the U.S. Constitution does not define it. Here on Twitter, we have Ishmael says, Joe Biden must expand the courts. The U.S. Supreme Court cannot become an instrument of tyranny in a democratic republic. Hashtag expand SCOTUS. Diane says, the senators who voted for Barrett represent 11 million fewer Americans than the senators who voted against her. That makes it a minority rule. To sustain a democracy, this must be rectified. Hashtag expand the court. Joe Biden has not explicitly stated whether or not he will expand the court, but has mentioned that he will add a bipartisan commission for reformation. Back to you.
BYU's College of Engineering will be awarded a $5.8 million grant from the U.S. government for its coal power research and other projects. Ryan Trapp reports on this story.
BYU's Department of Chemical Engineering will receive funding of $5.8 million from the United States Department of Energy.
We really appreciate it as students. I mean, it's really only possible with, funding from these benefactors that are both interested in the work that we do and in helping the students here.
The funding will be divided, with $4.6 million going to various projects, while the additional $1.2 million will be used on the Coal Energy Research Project headed by Associate Professor Dr. Andrew Fry.
Professor is developing a lot of research on how we can better use coal and other energies, just so that we can be more environmentally aware and just really make use of the resources that we have.
The project is currently exploring using the CO2 emissions produced from coal and other fossil fuels to generate electricity, rather than using traditional method of steam.
I think it's a really great step in the right direction to, understanding energy better and applying it in more humane ways and efficient ways.
Many students and staff are excited for the future of the project and the effect of these funds having on other research.
I think the more that we're able to get the funding and show that we can have significant impacts and results from it, that hopefully it'll help out other departments as well.
Reporting for NewsLine at BYU, I'm Ryan Trapp.
there's one plus we got from the cold weekend, it's pictures of dogs playing in the snow. These pictures are brought to us by Angus the Scotty and his furry friends on Twitter. What these pups may not have realized is Salt Lake City made history yesterday as the coldest October 26th in 142 years, when we dropped to 19 degrees. Now these cold temperatures are still lingering. As you can see, we've had a polar forest that we just got the tail end of, and now we've got this warm front that's going to be hitting us in Utah, but these cold temperatures are still lingering in today's temperatures across Utah. You can see everyone is trending in the mid 40s, low 50s. We've got Logan with a high of 45, low of 22. Salt Lake City, high of 44, low of 27. Wendover, we have a high of 51, low of 27. Here in Provo, we have a high of 44, low of 23. Vernal, we have a high of 35, low of 10 degrees. Yikes! Price, we have a high of 48, low of 27. Richfield, high of 44, low of 20. Moab, high of 40. And Blanding, also with that low 40 or high 40, low 20. In St. George, we have a high of 59, low of 39. And we're going to see some general warming temperatures in that 5-day forecast, getting all the way up to 78 degrees. Now it's going to take a little bit of work to get there, and your lows are still in the mid 40s, so make sure you have that jacket with you. But we're going to be getting those normal October trends that we're used to. Seeing the same thing happening in northern Utah with low of 29, high of 50 starting tomorrow, and then we will be moving our way up. Not quite as warm as it is in southern Utah. We will get that 68 degrees, but this mid to high 60s is much better than what we saw over the weekend. So make sure you have that jacket, enjoy the sunny weather that you're going to get, and enjoy your week. Back to you.
In Ecuador, the pandemic changes the way families celebrate memories of their loved ones. Reporter Jocelyn Solorzano will show us how cemetery closures will affect Day of the Dead this year.
I just represented something like so pure and so good.
Even though Fred Rogers died 17 years ago, his impact lives on. We'll tell you why some feel we need Mr. Rogers now more than ever.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering them could save you from having a stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
The Day of the Dead celebration in Ecuador starts tomorrow, but many fear the pandemic will prevent them from visiting the graves of their family members who have passed on. As NewsLine reporter Jocelyn Solorzano tells us, the government hopes to stop the spread of COVID-19 by closing the cemeteries during the holiday.
As we get closer to one of the longest running and special holidays in Ecuador, people here worry that they won't get to celebrate this special day like they have for generations. Before the pandemic, thousands of families gathered to visit the graves of the deceased loved ones in cemeteries nationwide. This ritual is part of the culture in Ecuador. However, the advance of COVID-19 changed the dynamic as local cemeteries will remain closed during this holiday. In the midst of the health emergency, some local business owners claim the government regulations will hurt their business.
Va a afectar bastante en lo económico porque no se va a poder vender como se vendía otros años y a la final uno se compraba mercadería para poder vender, pero no sé porque no va a venir la gente y ya pues afecta bastantísimo en lo económico.
The sale of flowers, candles, crosses, and traditional food are common during this holiday, but not this year.
Me parece injusto que no pueda pasar tiempo con mi papá como todos los años.
But many still hold out hope that local government agencies will find a way to allow families to visit their loved ones, at least for a short period of time, to show their respect. Reporting for NewsLine in Ecuador, I'm Jocelyn Solorzano.
Fred Rogers died 17 years ago, but many children and adults say he had a major impact on their lives. NewsLine reporter Harley Hunsaker tells us why some say we need Mr. Rogers more than ever.
It's a beautiful day.
Many admire the classic children's television show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood for its educational and entertainment value. But most people agree that the creator and host Fred Rogers made the show lovable.
Welcome again to this neighborhood.
BYU child development professor Sarah Coyne studies the impact media has on children and families.
And Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is just on the top in terms of forward-thinking content.
Yet not many college-age students know all that Fred Rogers and his show accomplished. A recent poll shows that out of 300 college students, 93% know who Mr. Rogers is. But out of that 93%, a whole 64% say they know very little about Fred Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, like...
Some, but not all, college-age students grew up watching Fred Rogers, and I asked them why they think people regularly say we need Mr. Rogers now more than ever.
Our generation gets older. I think we need to look to people who are not so politicized, and Mr. Rogers is someone who wouldn't necessarily associate with that.
He inspired people to just do what's right and just spread positivity.
One of his biggest messages was about just tolerance and loving others no matter what, and I think in this day and age we could use a lot of that. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood encourages everyone to be a little more kind, tolerant, and friendly, and to welcome all into the neighborhood. Reporting for Newsline, I'm Harley Hunsaker, Provo.
Thanks for joining us today on Newsline.
For more information on our stories or to share them with your friends, check out our website, universe.byu.edu/Newsline.
Have a great day.